Have you already noticed that there is a number that separates those who live putting out fires from those who finally breathe with peace of mind? That number, for you, might be 10,000. And before you doubt it, understand something. It's not about the money itself, but about what changes inside you. It's about how it redefines your choices, your posture, and even your self-esteem. That's why you need to pay attention now, because this is the turning point many people ignore and that you cannot afford to miss. When you start saving money, even if it's a little, you wake up to a truth no one taught you. You are not condemned to repeat the same mistakes. You can build security, freedom, and long-term vision. And the first 10,000 work like a portal. They're the clear sign that you can take control of your own life. This is where you begin to leave behind the survival mindset and enter the territory of building. If you want to change the direction of your financial story, everything starts with understanding why this amount has so much power over your mind and your future. And the most interesting thing is that this number, despite being simple, carries enormous symbolism. It marks the moment when you realize that your accumulated efforts finally materialized, that your discipline was not in vain, and that your life really can follow a different path from the one that seemed inevitable. It's not just an amount on a bank screen. It's a psychological milestone, almost a watershed, that separates the version of you that lived simply trying to survive from the one that begins to build something greater. The first 10,000 are a mirror that reveals the strength you perhaps didn't even know you had. And perhaps the most transformative part is realizing that this process does not depend on luck, inheritance, or some extraordinary event. It is born from small, repeated, almost silent decisions. And it's precisely this that makes the results so powerful. When you see your first 10,000 formed, you understand that it was not a stroke of luck, but your own construction. And from that point on, something changes irreversibly. You start to trust more in your ability to create stability, to make better decisions, and to walk toward greater goals. Chapter 1. The invisible weight of having no reserve. When you live without even a minimal reserve, you carry a weight you may not even notice. It's a silent tiredness, a constant tension, a fear that is not admitted out loud. Every unexpected event becomes a threat. Every unforeseen bill becomes a direct attack on your peace. And you start living in a state of alert, always ready for the worst, as if the world were trying to catch you off guard. This wears down your energy, your confidence, and even your ability to make clear decisions. Without money saved, you are forced to accept what you don't want, to tolerate what suffocates you, and to work only to put out the next problem. It is like walking on unstable ground, where every step could be the one that knocks you down. And even if you are strong, even if you do everything right, the absence of a financial reserve ties you down. It limits you. It makes you live to survive, not to grow. And the cruelest thing is that this lack of security creates an emotional fog that distorts your perception of life. Simple problems look like mountains, small decisions become gigantic dilemmas, and any change becomes terrifying. When you're financially vulnerable, even what should be light weighs more. That's why building your first reserve is also a process of rescuing your own mental strength. Chapter 2. When money controls you. When you don't have your first 10,000 saved, money starts deciding for you. It doesn't matter how much you work, how much effort you make, or how big your dreams are. You always end up reacting, never acting. It's money that determines whether you accept a bad job, whether you remain trapped in a routine that wears you down, or whether you postpone once again that plan that could change your future. It becomes the owner of your choices, and you just follow along. The most dangerous part is that this happens so subtly that you don't even notice. You believe you're making rational decisions, but in reality, you're just trying to avoid the next tight spot. It's in this cycle that many men remain for years, believing they need a raise, a better job, or more luck. But the real turning point is not in earning more, but in no longer being dominated by the fear of an empty bank account. And when you live trapped in this dynamic, your life moves according to urgencies, not according to goals. You choose shortcuts, accept bad deals, speed up where you should go slowly, and stop where you should move forward. Your vision shortens. Your priorities get confused. And it's exactly for this reason that conquering your first 10,000 becomes such a powerful watershed. When you get there, something changes silently inside you. Money stops being an unpredictable enemy and becomes a tool. You regain the ability to say no, to wait for the right moment, to evaluate opportunities without the suffocating pressure of desperation.